If you want to be coached by someone that podiumed at the first ever MX Bikes LAN event, then click the Discord link in the description below. Follow the steps on screen to book a one-on-one session with me now. Anyway, enjoy the video. Alright, what's good, boys? Welcome back to a brand new video today. We're here on Waterfall MX by MH Tracks. Now, you wouldn't believe me by just looking at how cool this track looks. This is his first ever track that I have ever seen mods. I don't know if he's a shop guy. I haven't actually looked, but from the look of it, this is his first ever track. So I'm going to treat it as his first ever track. Like I said, he could be a shop guy. I'm not 100% sure. He has got MX Bike shop banners, so I don't know whether it is meant to be on the shop and he didn't make the cut for it or something. I know they obviously have to have, I think they have to have the MX Bike shop banners on the track for it to be up on shop. That is a wall jump. That is why it's important to do a site like first, kids. So not just launching their level wall jump. But yeah, I'm going to treat it like it's his first ever track. But just by looking at the photos, even the photos look pretty cool. And yeah, we're here on the Fantic 450. We're not on the Varg today, obviously, as it being race week, if you will. But yeah, we're just going to be running some laps on this track, see what it's like. Now, I do apologise. I don't actually know when this video is going to be coming out. I don't know if it's going to be a Monday video or a Tuesday video, but I don't think I did a Monday video. And there isn't anything because I couldn't. I generally just forgot to do a video for Monday. So you guys will either be seeing this on Monday. I'm going to either have to try and rush to get this ready for 1 PM when it's just when I normally upload, or I'll just have to have it as Tuesday's video. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see for that. But yeah, anyway, like I said, this is his first ever track, I do believe. So let's get some laps going, and yeah, let's try and see if we can run some good laps already. I'm liking the roughness. The 450 does feel, I don't know, it feels kind of like sluggish now because I'm so used to the start Varg. It feels like it takes a while to get going because I'm so used to the start Varg power where it is just all there instantly. So I need to try and get used to this again. But that's why we're back on the Fantic today, because obviously it's technically race week this week. So yeah, we've got to try and get the flow back onto the Fantic really, and just get used to the bike again. Obviously being on a start Varg for like a week or however long I was on it for, you sort of learned to ride that bike rather than, you know, the 450. Sort of the muscle memory goes out the window. So as soon as you get back on the 450, you know, a couple of laps, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like, it doesn't feel too bad. It just feels like it's a little bit sluggish off the bottom because obviously Start Varg is electric, has all the power at the bottom. It's, you know, it's ready to go as soon as you're on the throttle. Also, okay, you like using the clutch and stuff again. I know a lot of people don't really use the clutch, but I'm one of the people that I like to use the clutch. I use it for like brake taps, I use it for like getting out of tight corners, things like that. So I know a lot of people don't always use the clutch, but I don't know, I just kind of like it. I use it a lot to sort of maybe start wheel spin almost, or just to sort of get me out of a tight corner, just little things like that. So it'd be nice to kind of just get comfortable to learn that again. But this is a straight bollocks. So you come flying around this corner here, 20 people around you into this massive wall jump that you can sort of send-ish around the outside here. We'll try this line. The jumps are pretty small. There is nothing huge on this track by the looks of it. It's a pretty simple track, but not gonna lie, for a first track it is very, very good. Like, I think if I tried to make a track it would not be up to the standard whatsoever, which is why I got Fishy to make my track, because I didn't even want to attempt to make my own track because I didn't want it to be absolutely arse. Didn't really want to spend like 2 months on a track for it to come out and everybody absolutely hate it. So yeah, if you haven't ridden the Fishy Aiden MXB test track or practice facility, it's called the AMXB practice facility. If you haven't ridden that, then definitely go and give that a go. Very, very enjoyable track, very, very fun track. And yeah, pretty simple. It is an intermediate kind of track, so it's kind of hard, but it's not too difficult. So if you want a track that you can kind of learn on, or just a track that's sort of good practice, that isn't too easy. If you're like a level where mods tracks are a little bit too easy for you now, I've wanted to make it on the harder side of the mods tracks. That was sort of the aim for it. Make it a bit more difficult for the more casual player. Obviously, pros and stuff that ride it, there isn't really going to be a track out there that's too difficult. I want to see how much I can launch that. But yeah, if you're more on the intermediate side, more of the expert level kind of rider, then yeah, you guys would definitely enjoy the AMXB practice facility. So go give that a download, go give that a try. But yeah, I think a 2-stroke could have probably been a good choice around this track. Maybe like a 252 stroke. I feel like that could be a very, very enjoyable bike around this track. Let's see if we can get into this inside and get a bit of power on, because this is a pretty big double. Right, let's see if we can put a lap down then. So again, a short lap time. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I've just noticed this myself, but I feel like a lot of the tracks nowadays, a lot of the outdoor tracks that have been coming out are very, very short lap times, like just above a minute or just under a minute. I've noticed that, I don't know, there's not really been a long outdoor track that's come out in a while, but then again, there is like a mods thing. There isn't, you know, mods are they're more casual tracks. They're not meant to be super long tracks. But yeah, I don't know, I've just noticed that a lot of the free tracks lately have just been very short outdoor tracks, like just over a minute. So yeah, see if we can get a lap time on this track, just sort of compare it to the others. But yeah, 106.2 is definitely a very quick lap for an outdoor track. But let's see if we can get that a little bit lower so we can kind of aim for. And like I said, you can get comfortable on a bike pretty quick if you're like sort of going quick on the bike. That's sort of the best way to learn or get comfortable on a bike, is try and ride your quick pace on it and sort of see how you ride really. Get to the inside. Oh, these insides are very. That was the final corner as well, wasn't it? Yeah, these insides are actually kind of difficult because they're very banked, so it's very easy for the back end to slide out. It's very easy for the back end to lose some traction, and you go a little bit sketchy. Let's try the outside here. Not sure if you really need it, but we're going to go outside here, launch this a little bit, get to this inside. You can sort of wheelie up and over this, up into fourth. Little scrub over this double here. Into fourth again, just to get over these braking bumps. Down to second again, set yourself up nice and early for this corner. And we can we can send that in second gear, just get the revs up high. This is quite an off camber sort of sketchy corner, so you've really got to take your time with this. I'm going to do the outside here, but you're never really going to be wanting to ride the outside here. The inside is plenty deep enough that you can sort of get into it. And I'm not over jumping this because I don't know that it's a wall jump. I'm trying to see if I can sort of launch it or see how far like I can sort of send it. You've got to sort of find the limit of what that jump can take. So if it means jumping off the track a couple of times, then so be it. And I feel like we're gonna do a quick Yui here. I feel like you can definitely launch that into that downside. You can probably do it from the inside, but we're just going to do it from the outside. So from the outside here, and then send this. Yeah, then you can land in these. You can land in these braking bumps here, get to the inside. So that's probably a quicker line just to send that. And then same thing here. You can sort of land this probably a little bit deep there. If we didn't bounce, we would have made that, I think. But yeah, you can sort of stretch some of these jumps to get a different landing, which for a first track, having little sections like that where you can sort of stretch jumps and land in a braking bump type of thing, it's very good. You never really see that on your first track to have like given technical lines. Same thing here, you can sort of launch over that roller. We didn't quite do it that time, but you can. And then we can stretch this, we can wheelie over these braking bumps, scrub this down to second on the brakes. A little bit sketchy there, that was not good at all. Up into third, down the middle here, you can kind of skip the braking bumps a little bit. And annoying there, the back end just kicked out there as well, which is a little bit annoying. Then you come railing around the outside here, off the throttle, just at the whole shot line, I think. And then scrub this to the inside. Into second. Let's see if we can launch this from the inside line. So nice and steady here, then send it. You can indeed. We're going into third, because if you guys didn't know, the braking bumps handle a lot better the higher gear that you are in. You're going to stretch this. I don't know why my game did that. And then into the inside here, and yeah, you're getting a lot of time from sending that and getting a good drive out of the inside corner as well. So 105.5 is a decent lap time. But yeah, like I said, very short for an outdoor track. But yeah, we'll leave it there for today, boys. If you guys are wanting to get this track, it is completely free on OHC Mods and very enjoyable first track. I have a feeling it was meant to be on the shop, but for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason it seems like they denied it and it's gone on mods. I could be wrong there, I'm just speculating. But with all the MXV Mods banners around, it's kind of giving me MXV shop vibes. But yeah, looks like it didn't quite make it onto the shop. But if you guys do want to get it, show them some love on OHC Mods. Obviously, first track, I think. So, W track indeed. But yeah, like I said, go get this track, free. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.